Hey, welcome to That Shit Was Poetic, where we touch on all things poetic, like music, poetry, art, movies, quotes, and famous poets. I'm your host, Nikki.
Hello. What's up, everybody? So I'm back on another Friday. Hope you all had a good week. I had a good week. And the good thing about this Friday, can you guess? Can you guess? Okay, I'll tell you. Is you get to catch this vibe with me. So let's get into it. I want to know, what is your favorite song? Like, what's that go-to song that you go to every time? You may be in a sad mood or you may be in a happy mood, but it's your go-to song no matter what. Like, you're just in the mood for it all the time. What's your favorite song? My favorite song is Sign Your Name by Terrence Trent D'Arby. And it's my favorite song I go to all the time. Like, even my son, if he sees that I'm in a certain type of mood, he will go play that song. And the reason I love the song is because it just gives me a good feeling. It gives me that good vibe. Um, I've been listening to that song since I was a child. I was a kid growing up, and my parents weren't married, so my dad would pick me up on the weekends. And when he would pick me up, he will always be playing like this really great music. I think that's one of the reasons why I have a love for music and a wide range of music. So he would pick me up and he would be playing all types of music. He would be playing Terrence Trent D'Arby. He also would be playing like Tina Marie, Portuguese Love. And as a kid, like listening to that, I didn't know what the words meant. I just know that it felt good. It was such a good feeling to have on those long drives because he lived like an hour and a half away, which isn't that far. But as a kid, it seems kind of far. So on those drives, he would be playing those different songs. And I remember him playing Trent D'Arby a lot. And that song just stuck in my head. It's another song called Wishing Well too that he also sung. But though that song stuck in my head, and even to this day, like that's one of my go-to songs. Even though I'm like a huge Prince fan, Terrence Trent D'Arby, that song, that album, like that stuck with me all this time. I'm gonna read the lyrics. So the name of the album was Introducing the Hardline According to Terrence Trent D'Arby, and the name of the song is Sign Your Name. And I take it as he was going through a breakup. The video, it looked like he was going through a breakup with a woman. She was a mother, and they were going through hard times and she left him. So that's how I took the video and the song. But the lyrics, they go, fortunately, you have got someone who relies on you. We started out as friends, but the thought of you just caves me in. The symptoms are so deep. It is much too late to turn away. We started out as friends. But like I said, as a kid, I had no idea what I was listening to at all. I just knew I liked the song. I liked the melody. I liked how it sounded. I liked how it made me feel. As I'm sitting in the car, I'm looking at the trees, the scenery, as we drive, as we're driving. Those things I can't get out of my head. Now, a lot of times I can't really remember my childhood. Certain things stand out, but there's times when my family, like, they're talking about something, I'm like, I don't remember that. But I remember the scenery as we're driving. I remember there was this, like a lake or a pond. I think it was a pond, and it had like really murky waters. And there was this one tree in the middle of it, and everything else was just empty. And it was just this one tree in the middle of this pond. And I remember that. But as far as this song, when he says, Stranger Blue, leave us alone, that kind of, as an adult, me listening to that part, and reading that part, it kind of confirms that they definitely were going through a breakup. And we always know that blue kind of means sad or depressing or, you know, something that makes you feel down. So that kind of confirmed that for me. But I love that song. What is a song that, you feel like is your go-to song? You know what I find so interesting? I find interesting that artists are so creative. Like, they have so many new and innovative ways of becoming and staying current with the times. Like, I really love the fact that artists can just create. And, one thing about art is if it's ahead of your time, one way or another, the time always seems to catch back up with it. Even if you're an artist and you put out a piece of work or a body of work and, you feel like it's ahead of your time and nobody is really gravitating to it, I feel like later on, it always seems to come full circle. And that's how art is. When people create, it may not be for you right now, but another point in your life, it definitely, could come back around. But I was reading in art news and I saw that there's a lot of new trends, especially since the pandemic. Artists are being more creative and innovative and trying to put their art out there because normally, of course, we are the consumers. We are the people who go see the artist. But now they're not able to show their creativity. So they're finding new ways to bring it to the consumers. And I was reading in Art News and it was talking about how artists are doing more concerts online, which we've been seeing that on social media, especially, in the hip hop and R&B world. We've been seeing a lot of concerts, the Erykah Badu and the Jill Scotts, the Nelly and the Luda. We even had Alicia Keys and John Legend. So it's just a whole new thing for the world to see concerts online. Erykah Badu has been doing her concerts, which all you will have to pay is like $1 to see her do a full concert. And I think that's amazing. I also was reading trends that will start coming to light are art galleries, exhibits, expanding online. Galleries will battle with auction houses. Like, can you imagine two galleries battling, like how we see, John Legend and Alicia Keys? Can you imagine two art houses competing? Who has the best body of work? I think that would be so dope. Like, oh, we got this gallery, and today they have their 5 pieces, and we want you to be the judge. Pay $1 to see that. Like, I know I would definitely be interested. I was also reading that art and dinner will possibly be a new thing. And I think that's really cool for the summertime. Like, can you imagine, going out to eat and having your chef, which is, I think chefs are artists as well because, they're creating a beautiful meal and their plates are their work of art. And then you have another artist who actually creates pieces, monuments or, you know, a body of work that you can look at and imagine them creating that while you're eating. Like, that will be so dope. That's like a great combination. Um, the paint and sip idea, which has been a trend for, I think it really became popular these past few years, like paint and sip or trap music and sip. Or is it trap and paint? One of the two, but has really become really popular. And I think I never got a chance to do it. I want to do it. That's like one of the things I'm interested in doing. I want to learn how to paint. And I think that's a really dope idea. We're going to take a very short break, but we'll be right back. So stay tuned.
That Shit Was Poetic has merch, guys. If you're excited as I am, please head over to thatshitwaspoetic.storeenvy.com. That's STORENVY.com and grab our 11-ounce mug. If you're a coffee or tea drinker, listen to our podcast and sip your favorite beverage. If you love this podcast, please support our merch.
So how many of you have ever been to a poetry reading? I've been to a couple of poetry readings. I actually read in one. It was a really, really small showcase, and it was a friend of my mom's, and she usually put on like different art exhibits in her home because I believe her husband, he was a painter and he was an artist. So he created, different pieces, and they were put on exhibits in their home. So one time she had poetry reading at her house, and I was able to get up there and read. It was a small poem, and I was very nervous, but I did it. I love the idea of music and poetry. You go to this club where people are playing music and they're reading their poetry. So this is a poem by Donez Smith. Project is called Homie, and the name of the poem is called Niggas. And I thought it was, dope. Especially what we're going through right now. Like, the world is going through a big transition, and I'm so proud, that people are starting to recognize what Black people go through and starting to speak up and just be advocates for Black culture and Black people and brown people. So I'm happy about that. But don't stop having those conversations. Don't stop posting. Don't stop talking, keep spreading the conversation, even though it's an uncomfortable conversation. But sometimes people have to be uncomfortable because that's what Black people live with every single day, being uncomfortable. So don't stop spreading that. Don't take your foot off of the pedal. So this poem is called Niggas by Donez Smith.
Niggas. Love them two G's in the middle, hanging down like hands scooping water from a river pinked by dusk. I love how it starts in the nose, nig, then books it to the back of the mouth and smacks the soft palate, guzz. I love the smell of nigga on the tongue and how it means that which is me and them niggas over there too. It do my heart wells to think on niggas. Lower my cholesterol when I holler niggas when I walk into a room and be niggered right back. Nigga every room I enter. I touch the knob and nigga the door into a door to an eternal east side hidden in the shade slick hold of kin and little bridges clasped Black hands make. Or how my nigga Josh plays his head against my head and we each make our nigga a crown. Ain't that it? My niggas royal me. Make me the whole damn castle, and me brick, and me moat, and I arrows pointed at the distance, ready to ride for the two G's of my body, and the G's that made me, and the G's before, and the G's before.
We're going to take a very short break, but we'll be right back, so stay tuned.
So, people, FYI, Audible is doing Kids Listen free. You can stream hundreds of stories for the whole family that'll help kids keep dreaming, learning, and just be kids while school is on pause. This is no way, shape, or form an ad. I'm just putting it out there for parents who are trying to get their children back into reading and they're able to listen to, audiobooks. And I just got back into listening to my audiobooks yesterday. Before, when my son was in school, before the whole pandemic and everything, we would listen to audiobooks on the way to school and from school. So that was this thing that, I started, and it was really enjoyable for us. It was a way for the family to bond. We would listen to like YouTube videos and, gospel sermons in the morning. So that was our way to bond. I just wanted to throw that out there for parents who are trying to get their kids back into books and finding a creative way of reading by listening to audiobooks and not be so stuck in their phones or, their computers all day long. And, they have plenty of good books to listen to. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Like I said, this is not a promotion, but in the event that Audible does want to reach out to me, but yeah, so try that.
So thanks for tuning in to That Shit Was Poetic. I'm your host, Nikki, and tune in every Friday for new episodes. To check out our old episodes, follow That Shit Was Poetic on all streaming services, Spotify, Google, or download the Anchor app to listen and leave a comment or voice message. To be featured in our podcast, email thatshitwaspoetic@gmail.com or follow us on IG, That Shit Was Poetic, and DM us. Thank you for tuning in.